Thank you so much for the introduction. Well, we actually talked about whether we should change the topic of this talk and talk about diversity in drinks and all go to the bar. That would be a good idea too. But still an important topic. So welcome to the last session of today's Appelconf. Monika and I are going to talk about diversity in tech and whether it really matters. Monika and I both are women in tech who have several years of experience, and we want to take you on a visual journey through diversity and share some of the stories we experienced in our careers. So we're going to do that with a visual journey, as I said, and consider, well, imagine you know a woman who has been working in IT. Let's call her Jessica. Completely fictional name. But let's take us back to the day when she started her career. Okay, this is Jessica. Jessica started. Well, let's start in the Mordor world, so where everything goes wrong. So when Jessica came to her first tough business decision, namely whether she wanted to choose a path in IT, she thought about, is it a good idea? Well, I'm not that good at math, actually, but I like figures. I'm not a gamer, and I'm not a nerd, so maybe it's not such a good idea to go into tech, and isn't it a boy job anyway? And basically, I won't have any work-life balance. So Monika, what do you think? Are there some numbers that support these hypotheses?
Of course, let me show you some numbers. So of all working persons, 57% are women, but only 26% are women in computing. So in IT, the number is, in the US, 2017, very low. But in Switzerland, it's even lower. So in Switzerland, we have only 13% women working in tech. And when it comes to CIO positions, the number decreases even more. According to the girlswhocode.com, they made a prediction that in 2027, the number of working computer scientists that are female is decreasing as well. So isn't that sad, Brigitte? How does it look in the unicorn world with Jessica?
Okay, thank you, Monika. Well, I think it's really bad. So let's go back and think about the what if. What if everything would be perfect and diversity wouldn't even be an issue anymore, and everything would be just happy and a lot of unicorns in the world and stuff like that. So in that world, Jessica would just follow her passion. She wouldn't even consider whether there are boys' jobs and girls' jobs, and she would get a robot for Christmas, and it would be fun, and she would just, as I said, just follow her passion, and there wouldn't be any stereotypes at all. So, Monika, isn't that really that far away, that scenario? What do you think?
I have good news for you. So 66% of all girls, young girls, are interested in computer programs. That's an absolutely fabulous number, I think. But when the girls are getting older, the number decreases again. But I think, in my opinion, this is a very good corner point to start off with. So let's keep going with that.
Okay, let's go to the next step in the career of Jessica. Well, Jessica actually decided to take her path and go into a job in IT. So she went to university. At the first day at university, she started to hear voices. Oh, look, there's the girl. What is she doing here? Or something like, I bet she won't even make it more than 2 weeks. So, Monika, what do you think? Is she crazy, and does she really just hear voices?
No, absolutely not. So even though women are studying computer science, unfortunately, they don't work as an app developer or system administrator or software engineer after the study. So they work as a project manager or common other IT jobs. So I think this is very bad about the study they've done. Don't you think so?
Yeah, I think so. That's really bad. Well, let's change that. So how would it be in the unicorn world, where everything would be just perfect? In the unicorn world, Jessica would go to university, as she does in the Mordor world. But opposite to Mordor, there would be an equal amount of women and men at her studies. And even the professors would be equally divided between men and women. Do you have some numbers?
Absolutely, I can underline that. In the STEM fields, that's science, techniques, engineering, and math, in Switzerland we call it MINT. So in the STEM fields, the number increased from 29 to 33% of female students. Yeah, I know. We're famous in Bern for being slow, for talking really slowly, and also this increasing here is very slow. But it's ongoing, and we're doing a good job, I think.
So let's continue. So after Jessica finished her studies with an excellent degree, of course, she looked for her first job. So getting a job in IT as a woman isn't that hard right now because, to be honest, if you have a more or less okay CV as a woman in IT, you mostly get invited to an interview. So that's a good thing, right? But once you get the job, a lot of women think they have to overcompensate. So they have to work really, really hard. And they think they have to prove themselves so hard and they don't take any help. And a lot of women do that. Or don't you think so?
Yeah, I have a hypothesis on that one. So they asked the women in this survey if they want the promotion in the next 3 years. And nearly every woman said, yes, of course, I'd love to. And also, when it comes to management jobs for C-level positions, 62% of the women said, yes, I'd love to do that. And I'm wondering if the women just said, yes, I want to, because they do some overcompensation, or if they really want to do that in their heart, yeah, they love to do that, really. I'm not sure about that. But let's see how the story continues with Jessica.
Well, in the unicorn world, there would still be some competition, but men and women would be measured equally. And there would be some measurements about how likable a person is, or how smart, or reliable, or patient, or analytical. But it wouldn't make a difference whether you are a woman or a man. Do you have some data?
Yeah, I got some numbers on that one too. So the good news is that 86% of all the people say it is equally true that women and men are intelligent. But there's a difference in organization and talent. So more women are said to be better organizational talents than men. And also equally true is honesty for both genders. So 29% say that women are more honest than men. I don't know about this one, really.
Well, I think that's true. No, just kidding. So let's go back. Well, let's consider Jessica has been working in IT for several years now, and she has some experience. And there's the next promotion round coming up. So opposite to her male colleagues, Jessica has to go ask for a promotion because she just doesn't get considered by default, even if she does a good job. So is that really true, Monika?
Yeah, I got some facts about the earnings, and that's the bad story. Women under 25 years earn 29% less than their male colleagues for doing exactly the same job. And also, for the same job opportunity, 63% of the women get less offers for doing exactly the same job as men do. So that's a bad story, I think. Can you tell me in the unicorn world how Jessica feels like?
Well, first of all, I would encourage all the women to go to work on Monday and ask for a raise. So no, in the unicorn world, as you probably can guess by now, men and women would be considered equally, and they would have the same opportunities for a promotion if they do the same a good job.
I got some facts on this one as well. So the good news is 187 million women are running their own business or starting running a business. That's great news, I think. And also, they do it with 16% of the fundings as men do. And also, they generate 12% more revenue than their male competitors. So that means that women are more efficient or more successful? I'm not sure. What do you think, Brigitte?
I'm not sure. Maybe it takes just a bit longer for women. They just do it if they're really, really sure it's going to work, maybe. I'm not sure, but it's an interesting fact. Okay, let's go back to the Mordor world, where Jessica turned 32 yesterday. She celebrated, and now she's thinking about changing jobs because, to be honest, it's a good thing to change your job every now and then, right? So Jessica starts writing applications, and she gets interviews, and she goes to the interviews, but there's still that elephant in the room of the pregnancy and family question, right? So, well, in Switzerland at least, you're not supposed to ask that question, but it's still really always there. So how about, do you want to start a framework? What do you think about inheritance or something like that? What do you think?
Yeah, in this graph you can see that science, engineering, and technology area are compared to all the other sectors. And I think it's really interesting that in SET, 71% of the women feel pressure for extensive face time. So I always thought I can write my code anywhere, so I don't need to be in the office compared to other industries. But that doesn't seem to be the very big thing. So the mom question isn't the big topic in that case. So we found out that other points like pressure on the job and the flexibility to do the job wherever you want to be is one of the big problems as well. So is there a topic in the unicorn world with Jessica on that?
Well, in the unicorn world, where everything would be perfect, raising a family would be a good thing because, to be honest, wouldn't it be, isn't it a good thing if a mother can manage a family and a job? Don't you think she would have perfect and really good organizational skills? So maybe that's the reason why so many women end up in the project manager job. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, that might be one reason for it, of course. So another interesting fact is that in the 8 largest companies, female tech positions are growing 238 times percent more than male positions. I didn't know that before, so I really like the fact. And also, by 2016, there were 87 CIOs were females of the Fortune 500 companies in the world, compared to 2012, where there were only 61. So that's a growth of 43%. And by 2015, 6 out of the biggest 15 Fortune 500 companies had a female CIO, including AT&T, Walmart, and Ford.
That's good news. Let's hope that continues. Okay, let's go back to the Mordor world. So Jessica did decide to start a family. So she did get pregnant. She did go. She did go on a maternity leave, and she did come back after only 4 months in Switzerland. So, but when she came back, she basically had to start from the beginning again because her employer thought that, well, she has other responsibilities now. She's stressed at home, so she doesn't really have that much time. So let's just give her the easy projects and the small clients and so on. So is that really true?
Yeah, I found out that 56% of all working women quit in their mid-career. But how is that? Is it just the maternity leave? The most topic reason is that 30% said it's the working condition. It's not the work-life balance. So we should take this in mind, I think. And how does Jessica do in the unicorn world?
Well, in the unicorn world, it wouldn't even be, as you can guess by now, it wouldn't be an issue. So going on a maternity leave would basically be a pause and resume action. So she would pause her job and resume it after 4 months. So it wouldn't be an issue at all. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. So Americans think that the top reason isn't just the balancing act. So it's more that women are held to higher standards. And another very important topic is that sponsored or unsponsored women have different opportunities. As you can see here, sponsored women, that means that they have a sponsor within the company or a mentor. That is very important. They stay employed. So they in the unicorn world. But how does Jessica finish the story in the model world, Brigitte?
Well, after many years of experience, she gets another opportunity in her career. So, and the opportunity is to get a leadership position. So, after a lot of consideration, she thought about, yeah, I'm going to do that. That's a good idea. When she took the job, she heard a lot of complaints about, she's not feminine enough anymore, or she doesn't have a feminine side, or she acts like a man. And if she went on an event or something, she was always considered the assistant. So, is that true?
Yeah, I don't know, but I have an interesting, sad fact that only 11% of the executive positions in Silicon Valley companies are women. How can we change that? Let's have a look at the unicorn world.
Okay, so in the unicorn world, everything would be perfect. So you wouldn't have the female role of being sexy wouldn't be that common anymore. So it's okay for a woman to be bossy every once in a while. So let's say bossy is the new sexy.
So public has confidence in female leaders, says this source. And also, in 1997, this chart was equal between men and women. And nowadays, women say that 66% of the women say, career is the most important thing in my life. So this seems to be a very important topic as well to them. So Brigitte, what do you think? The reality, are we more like in a Mordor world or in a unicorn world?
Well, I think it really depends on the topic we're talking about, but I wouldn't say we are completely Mordor and everything is bad, and I feel bad. After all, I've been working in IT for more than 15 years, and I'm still alive, and I feel pretty good. So, but still, we have some issues, so we're not really in the unicorn world either. So I guess we're somewhere in between.
Okay, and yeah, what do you think? Do men or women have to solve these issues? So I often hear that it's not the problem of the men because the women are not interested in tech. So I disagree with that, of course, because we're both working in tech as well and we are interested. And as I can see, a lot of women are joining this conference today. That's great. So to conclude, we think diversity is a very important topic. But it's not only about gender diversity. Diversity is about languages, cultures, different religions, different point of views, different ethics, different backgrounds, and yeah, it's really important that we have diversity in the teams we believe in. So, but how can we foster diversity, Brigitte?
Well, we can foster diversity by being role models. I think the both of us try to be female role models in the tech world, but it would be really important that other people with other minorities start being role models.
And what can companies do nowadays to foster diversity? What do you think?
Well, I think a company could help by just hiring and maybe hire a diversity manager and be aware of the issue. Yeah, I think that would be good.
Okay. And I also think additionally they should not only focus on quotas and stuff like that, but they should create a safe and comfortable working environment for everybody. And also, what can the government do? I think they can also support education initiatives to avoid biases. We all have bias. We are all biased from our growing up with role models and gender topics as well. So we think at WeShape Tech that networking and mentoring is a very important thing. What we do is we organize events in Bern, Zurich and Basel here in Switzerland, and you're all very welcome to visit our events. So we also have mails on our events, so you're really welcome to join us. You can drop us a line if you get questions, and also stay tuned with our newsletter on WeShape.tech. And yeah, we're happy to hear from you. Do you have to?